Hi everybody. Today I'm in one of the several center points of Bengaluru city. Towards my left goes towards the MG Road, and towards my right goes towards the Chinnaswamy Stadium, and towards my front is the place that we are going to talk about today. You must have passed by it several times and even gone to the place several times. I'm talking about the famous Cubbon Park. Now inside Cubbon Park there are several hidden spots or several spots around Cubbon Park that you might have not seen or might have not even witnessed. So Cubbon Park, ladies and gentlemen, is not just the park that you see today. This entire area was called as the cantonment area or the garrison town once upon a time by the British government. Today's video is about different hidden landmarks in Cubbon Park and telling to you about the extent of how big the Cubbon Park once used to be and what has happened to it today. So stay tuned with us until the video ends. So we are inside Cubbon Park and we have very slyly managed to smuggle in our equipment to tell you the history of this park. So you must have gone inside this park many times not knowing about this history, but initially when this thing was set out as a part of the cantonment town or the garrison town, this was not precisely a park. It was just a patch of green lands and had a lot of water channels running through it. Eventually these water channels would go through this way and dump in the Sampangi. The whole idea of turning this green pasture into a park came during the time of Bentham Bowring. Yes, the same guy after whom the Bowring Hospital and the Bowring Institute has been named. He gave this responsibility to Lieutenant Colonel Sankey. Ring any bells? So this is the same guy after whom the Sankey tank is named, and he was the guy who laid foundation of the Sankey's ditch, which later went on to become the Sankey tank. When Sankey designed the whole idea of this park, he named it after Sir Richard Mead, who was again the commissioner of Mysore Kingdom. Now you must be wondering, why are they commissioners of Mysore Kingdom? It was when Sir William Bentinck assumed the charge as the viceroy of the Indian subcontinent. He said that the ruler of Mysore Kingdom, Krishnadevadaya III, is not ruling his kingdom in the right manner, going through a lot of turmoils and governance issues. As a result, he kept the ruler aside and he placed commissioners here. Now when the park was finalized and came into a very proper mainstream idea, it was at that time Sir Mark Cubbon was the commissioner of Bangalore, and on him the park was named as the Cubbon Park. After the independence, things came out that this park cannot be named after something colonial, so they named it Sri Chamarajendra Park, which we all today know as the Cubbon Park itself. So guys, you must have visited this place or probably even have passed by this road many times but not observed this beautiful monument right here. This is a mark of colonial legacy, colonial sculpturing and colonial architecture on Bengaluru city. This is a statue of Queen Victoria. This statue speaks about the legacy of Queen Victoria, who ruled UK or the British Isles for about 60 plus years, surviving several assassination attempts. The people of Bengaluru, who were the Britishers, wanted to put forward her legacy to the people of Bengaluru. As a result, they decided to form a trust and to collect some money for this statue. They could not be successful in connecting enough amount of money, and that's when Krishnadevadaya IV, the ruler of the Mysore Kingdom, came to help and donated generously for the development of this statue. And if you look at it, this statue was unveiled by King George V, who goes on to become the next emperor of the Indian subcontinent. This statue is one among the 50 statues of Queen Victoria unveiled in India in 1905. Yes, there were 50 of them. But as of today, only 5 of them survive. This statue was designed by Thomas Brock. He is the same guy who is known for popularly designing several motifs in and around the Buckingham Palace. If you look at the statue very carefully, you will see several signs of imperialism and colonialism in it. For example, the orb that she holds, the spectre that she is holding, and the colonial regalia, the crown regalia that she wears. Her clothing also speaks about the richness of the colonial rule. For example, the cloak that she wears is beautifully adorned with Tudor tulips and Tudor roses that speak about the grandeur of the Imperial Palace of London. So you must have all passed by this road, not recognizing this amazing heritage colonial building that stands here. This is the St. Mark's Cathedral. Yes, you guessed it right, on the name of which the famous St. Mark's Road is named. This is the oldest Protestant church in Bengaluru city, built by the British Empire. Now this church stands in the middle or in the heart of the city. This church went through a lot of problems because when it was built like a utilitarian structure, not for any other purpose. But as time progressed, the importance of the church increased. But the church also went through several disasters. First, the entire roof of the church collapsed way back in the 1800s. Later, in the 1900s, the fire caught in the church and it was burnt. In 1923, it was the time when King Edward took charge of the British Kingdom, and to mark his coming to the throne, the church was fully renovated with bell towers, decorations, pillars and walls, and it was fully painted to mark the beginning of the famous St. Mark's Cathedral. Now this church, if you observe, has very, very beautiful neo-classical, neo-Renaissance and British kind of elements in its architecture. This church also houses some of the most famous and some of the most oldest gifts sent by Britishers to the Indian subcontinent that include tablets made of the famous Burma teak wood. Going forward, this church also produced some of the biggest revered teachers and saints who went on to start some of the oldest schools of Bengaluru city, for example, the Bishop Cottons and the St. John's Academy. So many people, when they come to Cubbon Park, they think this is some random landmark that's right here, probably a random gazebo for people to sit and relax. But this is actually a very, very heritage landmark. It's the Bandstand. Many historians are of the opinion that this came to Cubbon Park in 1870s. But the catch here is this is not its original location. It was first built near the Bowring Institute, very close to the petrol pump. But due to some infrastructural issues and development, it was put right here in the middle of Cubbon Park, very close to the Seshadri Iyer Memorial House. So you could see the ceiling of this. This was not the original ceiling. When the British constructed it, it had a false wooden ceiling. Now everybody asks, what was the use of these bandstands? So as the name goes, bandstand. When ceremonies happen, when celebration happens, the band would stand here and play live, because obviously there were no speakers at that point in time. The crazy thing about this bandstand is that you can see right behind me, there's a High Court. This is the same axis of Bengaluru city where you have this bandstand. Behind it, you have the seat of the Chief Justice of Karnataka, and behind that you have the Speaker's chair in the Karnataka State Legislative Assembly. So this bandstand has seen some iconic celebrations, iconic moments where the band has stood here and played. This used to be covered for the band sound to come out more strongly. Both the armies of the British Kingdom and both the armies of the Mysore Kingdom would stand together and play. You can imagine how beautiful that situation would be. When Krishnaraja IV completed his Silver Jubilee, this witnessed a massive celebration. So guys, that's it for this video. Next time you come to Cubbon Park, make sure that you're visiting all of these small little spots that mark the colonial history of Bengaluru city. Well, there are so many other channels out there that speak about new restaurants, new places to shop, new places to go. We, on the other hand, are trying to bring out to you the colonial roots or the roots of how the Bengaluru city was born. So write to us in the comment section if you want more such videos. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to News Hamster.